The council regular meeting Monday, March 23rd, 2026, 6 p.m. City clerk, will you call the roll call?
Councilman Sar,
Here.
Councilman Gott,
Here.
Councilwoman Brown. Present. Councilwoman Cordis. Here. Councilman Phillips,
Here.
Councilwoman Sherman.
Here.
Councilman Twitchell,
Here.
Councilman Poston.
Here. There being a quorum, I will call this meeting to order. Please stand for the invitation to Councilman Portman and lead us.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to come and serve the citizens of Louisiana in this capacity. We just ask that you give us divine wisdom and understanding as we make these crucial decisions that affect all the residents here. And it's in the name of Jesus we ask this, amen.
Councilman Phillips, you lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time I'll open up the floor for any consideration for comments from the public regarding any item on the meeting agenda. Hearing none. Approval of the agenda, council members, I'd like to add one item under the minutes, the approval of to include the minutes for May 12th, 2025. I'll add that unless there's any objections. With that being said, approval of the minutes for May 12th, 2025, February 9th, 2026, and February 23rd, 2026 as a slate. Motions are second. Any discussion? All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carried. I do not have any reports to give. I'll jump to the city administrator.
Mayor, council members. I have quite a few things. So I'm going to ask at first, are we going to vote on the resolution as we go through or?
Yeah, we'll go through in the order of the agenda.
Okay.
Business, do business. So we'll do that at that time.
Okay, perfect. All right, so then jumping in, general update. So first thing I have was the Pike County multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan. Back in January, I had stated almost in passing to the council that I was able to go to the Pike County Courthouse and meet with Mark Twain Regional Council of Governments and several other, I would say, entities of interest that have interest in the hazard mitigation efforts for Pike County, as an effort that the Regional Council of Governments puts on to help us prepare to be ready to get funding from FEMA. And so what we do is we plan and kind of document all of the infrastructure within our affected area. So the hospital would do it, the county, each different municipality, fire districts, et cetera. If you can think of it, and they had an interest in the hazard mitigations, they implemented what things that they needed to protect infrastructure and whatnot. And then the Regional Council of Governments comes up with a hazard mitigation plan, which is required by FEMA for us to receive funding. And a part of that requirement is that we approve the hazard mitigation plan as something that we essentially that we're being proactive when it comes to natural disasters. And so in order for us to receive funding from FEMA, this plan has to be implemented and it has to be approved by the council. And so I'd ask the council to approve that at this time or tonight.
Which resolution is that?
Yes, that is resolution 07/2026. And I can read that if you'd like.
No, that's fine.
Up next, I have, I'll be requesting the council vote to renew our contract with Millsoft Utility Solutions. It's more commonly known around the office as Daffron. But simply, it's our accounting software. Again, I would appreciate the council would vote to renew this contract. It's at a cost of $775 a month for 5 years. I know I've discussed with a couple, council members, the cost and it is a little steep. We have looked into other options. Millsoft and Daffron are about as bare bones as it gets, and it does everything that we need it to do. But there isn't really something that's more simple and therefore less expensive. And so I did reach out to the account manager and I had asked if there was a discount we could get by paying it in full. It's the only action that we could take to possibly paying less than the $46,500 over the next 5 years. But again, that's for our accounting software, and that's resolution 08/2026. Any questions so far?
Is there a way we could pay, instead of paying monthly, we just pay them once? I'm sorry, we restate. Is there any way that we could pay them annually, break that up into 5 payments as opposed to a monthly payment?
If we're doing it in advance, say the contract is it's set to renew if approved on March 31st. If we were to pay it, say until March 30th next year, I don't think that they would be upset with us giving them a bunch of money in advance. And if we wanted to pay it kind of, do the year and then get an invoice, I would have to check the account manager.
Yeah, I mean.
So you're saying there's only no discount if we pay 5 years up front?
Possibly, and so that's not even guaranteed. It was just the only way that I could think, if we paid some portions of it, whether annually or all 5 years at once, if they would give us a discount for that. And she's checking into that, the account manager, and I have not at this time heard that.
Just for council's, information, Daffron was implemented and put into place in 2016. And this is a normal operating expense. Not saying that we can't look into getting any type of discount for doing it annually or every 5 years, but I'm just saying historically, it's always been a monthly expense.
Yes.
Are we getting our money's worth? I mean, do you think it's a good system?
I talked with Treasurer Gordon and my exact words were, should we look for something better? And the response was, we can't afford better because, and I'll asterisk that, with accounting softwares are usually very advanced. And I would say at this point, we're probably using 95% of what we're paying for. Whereas if we go to, by the next lowest or the next advanced, then we'll probably only be paying, substantially more. And we'll only be using maybe 70% of what they offer. And so at this point, I think Daffron handles all of our employee HR software, everything that you can think of employee related, pay, or how we go in and actually keep track of invoices and things like that, all done within the software. And we really don't need it to do much more than that. And so I think it's a good fit.
We know what service we were utilizing prior to 2006.
I don't know. And I wouldn't even know where to begin searching, but I will try to find something. Do we have any other questions on Millsoft? Okay. The next thing I have in general update is the Chamber of Commerce annual banquet. I sent an email out, and I would also like to encourage the public to come to the Chamber of Commerce banquet. I was asked, due to the banquet being on April 9th, 2 days after the mayoral election, I was asked to give the State of the City address. I will be giving it that evening, and so I would like as many people on the council, in City Hall, and of course as many people in the public as possible to attend. And those tickets can be retrieved from Brooke Patterson over at It's So Good. Any questions on that? Okay, moving on, I have the street and grounds update. There was a little bit of a hubbub about the Riverview Cemetery sign. We went out there and looked. It didn't appear that it had been damaged in any way by being hit or Any foul play. It didn't seem like it had been maliciously knocked over or even on accident. Our best guess was that with the strong winds coming in, how it was loosely fixated to the post, that it just time took its toll and it tilted over. So we had that blocked off for about a week while we could figure out what it was and we could get it situated. It is situated this time, and we're going to build up the bases a little more to prevent this from happening in the future, or at least so suddenly. And so at this time, it's fixed, and you can again access Riverview Cemetery through the normal main entrance on Nebraska. Next up, I have the Riverview mowing contract. Last year we had showed the contract out with Fidencio. It is still out for bids, and it will be out for bids until this Friday. Sealed bids for anyone in the public or online that might be listening. Sealed bids can still be accepted until Friday at the end of business in the city clerk's office. And I have state bid specs. Both Riley and I have. Sorry, I read the wrong one. Both Riley and I have bid specs for that job. Next up, we have the illustrious street sweeper. Most of what is in your packets from me comprises of documents related to this. The first thing you will see is Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission. That is the document from, actually the portion of the document from the Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission, saying that essentially this is the A4 storm regenerative air sweeper is state bid price. It's the first one that you'll notice on Exhibit 1. And the state bid price is $242,995. The quote that you will see on both of the later contracts, the resolutions, will be slightly different than that $242,995, which is because there were a couple things added on to it to essentially allow us to get the full use out of the piece of equipment. The next document I have is a simple chart breaking down the 3 leading options for leasing that we had. I broke them down into yearly payments, and only after printing out 11 copies did I realize I forgot to include the dollar sign, so I apologize. But it breaks down People's Bank and Trust for 4.455% with an annual payment of $55,964. I'll take this point to note, this is all over 5 years. Northland Financial out of Kansas City, 4.99% with an annual payment of $57,278. And Central State Bank in Pittsfield, Illinois, or Pleasant Hill, Illinois, I apologize, with a 4.875% annual payment and $57,261 for the payment. Moving next, I have the equipment lease agreement with People's Bank and Trust. And then behind that will be what was provided to me from Northland Financial regarding their financing options. And then finally, the document for the Central State Bank financing options. Behind that, you'll notice there are 2 resolutions. There's Resolution 05-2026 and Resolution 09-2026. Resolution 5-26 and resolution is, let me slow down. Resolution 5-2026 is regarding the purchase and financing of the street sweeper, whereas Resolution 09-2026 is regarding the outright purchase of the street sweeper. Mayor Carr has been very proactive and has been helping me to explore all options to see if we can possibly avoid a, let me go back here. A $55,000, $57,000, or $57,000 yearly payment, and see if we could possibly purchase this outright. Would you mind explaining that portion?
Yes, Cameron, what was the total expenditure cost, including interest, through the lease purchase agreement? At our last meeting, we referenced like $305,000. Is that accurate?
Yes.
So council, they, I reached out with Woody's, and they, if we was to purchase it outright, they were using approximately $2,625, $245,000. Okay, that we was able to purchase it outright. And so last year we had a carryover surplus of $100,000 that we put into a CD or reserve. Utilizing that, and then utilizing $100,000 from our stormwater account, and give us 200,000, which is a reserve account. It's a, it's a, it's a debt service account that is used for maintenance and repair of all of our stormwaters. And so we reviewed the ordinance and had Mary review the ordinance to see if we could utilize funds from that account. There's approximately $180,000. The debt service on it is annual, approximately 75,000. The debt service collects, the rate collects about 100,000 a year. So we're not going to be shy of making any type of a payment. We're good on that. So 100,000 from stormwater, 100,000 from cash in the reserve CD, utilizing the money from the insurance claim. The only thing that we'd have to do or need to do is pull 28,000 from our sales tax account, which we approximately have about $275,000 in our sales tax account approximately.
Would you be able to use any money that the tower rental?
Well, so those have already, those are earmarked for the street improvements. We're spending $452,000
Okay, so
on
that's
street
pretty,
improvements.
but we end up saving about $60,000.
Approximately $60,000.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at this, and this would be this council leaving our incoming council administration without any incurred debt from this council. In fact, we paid off debt.
Question on the financing. If I recall, in reading the email you sent out last Friday that we're using a balloon note on the financing. Is that in all three options?
Yes,
And what will be the lump sum payment on that balloon note at the end of the term?
so,
That's gonna be a chunk of change.
yes, so I may have worded it wrong. I don't necessarily think. Wait, make sure I get this right. I think I might be misunderstanding your question. We'll just make the same 5 payments over 5 years, and there won't be essentially a final payoff.
You know, the balloon note basically works as you make a payment basically without interest for a certain period of time.
Oh, then
And
yes,
then there's a lump sum that's due at the end of the note, in terms of
Yes.
the note payment.
I misspoke then, and I apologize for that. No, so we will not be using a balloon payment. And the interest will be paid out from the first payment, which would be if the council chooses to go into a lease financing agreement. The first payment wouldn't be due for a year, and then interest would start being paid then.
I'd like to say it'd be really nice to leave the city debt free at this point. The only thing left in terms that the city would owe would be the Georgia Street project. So I would like to reemphasize that would be I think a stellar accomplishment.
Mayor Carter, how much did you say the amount from sales tax would be?
Approximately $28,000.
And I'll say thank you, Mayor Carter, for explaining that. We had gone over it and we were discussing it this morning even, and just trying to work out those final details, and so that's why I wasn't able to include that in the packet. Next on the street sweeper, again, resolution 05, 2026 was for the financing and purchase. Resolution 9 is for the outright purchase. And then finally, you have this outright purchase agreement for the street sweeper. It is $245,000 even, with a discount of $2,625 should we purchase it outright. And then the final document I have for the street sweeper, and I have a couple other things, is this nifty little flyer, which also has all of the specs. There were a lot of technical questions that I received, and I have received over the last meeting over the last couple of weeks regarding just essentially what the street sweeper can do. So I wanted to provide this, and I've also invited Chris from Woody's Municipal Supply to come and answer any questions you guys may have, or that I may not have answered adequately at the last council meeting regarding the specifications of this equipment. So at this time, I'd like to invite Chris up to answer any questions you guys have, and then I have a few more things to do.
Chris, is that an actual picture of the model that we're looking at?
Yes, that is. Before storm. Y'all are where I'm Chris Coughlin with Woody's Municipal Supply. Thanks for having me here. I appreciate it. Woody's, if you're not familiar with Woody's, we've been working with the city of Louisiana for quite some time. Do truck build, snow equipment. Woody's the family owned business for over 50 years. Nick's grandpa started it. Doing snow trucks, doing the upfitting, doing the dump bodies, the snow plows, the spreaders, everything that goes along with the dump truck with lighting and camera work from a 1 ton all the way up, from F-150s all the way up to tandems with regular steel to stainless steel beds. So, cover everything on the truck end. And over that time, we've taken over, Nick's grandpa and his dad have passed on, and Nick has taken over with his mom. His mom's more of the quiet side, she stays on the back end of things. But over that time, we've taken on street sweepers and diamond mowers and hydro excavation equipment. So we're and all the way from signs to street signs to posts to construction zone signs. So we kind of cover the whole municipal, and that's where we stay. We do work with some contractors, but I would say 95% of what we do, we stick with municipalities. So we cover the whole east side of Missouri, and then we cover central and southern Illinois, and I am the rep for the Missouri side. And so that's kind of the rundown of what Woody's and who I am and what we do. And we're built, mainly on when it comes down, I know the biggest thing is, I can sit and sell you everything, and we have, but it comes down to the service side of things. Things are going to happen over time with equipment. These machines have a lot of moving parts. Things happen. It's how we're going to provide service after the fact. I've built quite a relationship. I've known Tim for quite some time now. I've met with him several times. Cameron, I met just recently as he's taken over the new position. Clinton and Josh. So I've been through several different folks over the last 4 years that I've been with Woody's, and continue to stop in, just whether not even to sell something, just stop in to say hi down at the department, stop in here to see how things are going. So you'll see me periodically coming through, popping in, seeing how things are going. We're just doing a follow-up, and that's what we provide. Woody's is all about taking care of the customer and having that relationship with you guys. So when you need things, we're there for you.
One of the challenges I think we all can agree is equipment breaking down and lack of preventive maintenance on a lot of our equipment.
Correct.
Can you work with the city to help them develop a really good preventive maintenance program for this piece of equipment?
Sure, yeah, and
We're talking $250,000.
Correct. And I know that's a big purchase for all this equipment nowadays because it all is really expensive, whether it be this or a boom mower or updating of a truck. It's having a relationship with departments. We will provide a full day of training with whoever's going to be in the unit, because that's the biggest thing is on these machines, all moving parts, is maintenance, keeping up with it, cleaning it when it comes in after everyday use or how often you use it. You need to wash it down, clean it up, lube everything, grease all your fittings, and that's something we go over at the time of training. And what we also do, because we know there's turnover. People forget, hey, the last guy, that was in it, he ran all the time, he's gone. All of us don't remember how everything works on this. And this unit particularly is a pretty simple standard unit. And I know it can look daunting if you look at all the buttons on it, but once you go through it, it's pretty easy to run compared to some other, like if you're looking for a mechanical, what you guys currently had was the mechanical. Regenerative air is a lot simpler, less moving parts, less maintenance on it. So that's the one thing that's really nice. And if you guys if y'all aren't for sure what's the difference between a regenerative air and a mechanical, the easiest way to break it down for layman term type, for everybody to understand, mechanical is basically like, so if leaves are usually the biggest thing you like to pick up. In regenerative air, is like taking a shop vac that's on steroids and picking up all your leaves real quick compared to a mechanical, you're trying to, sweep it with a broom. And you see stuff and it sticks to the ground. It's hard. The brush just goes right over it. That's what a mechanical is. It's not meant for that. It's more, if you're going to do a lot of milling, a lot of heavy material pickup, your mechanicals more that way. Regenerative air is going to pick up all your, your rocks and your, and all your leaves. It's going to pick up dirt. It's going to pick up, loose debris. What it does with regenerative air, it forces air down, and then it has a centrifugal force there with the sweeping head that shoots it across and sucks it up. One of the things it's good for is I know you guys talked about stormwater, keeping all these particulates out of the storm, like brake dust, all the small things like that, because what it does is it knifes down into the concrete and the asphalt and gets into all the cracks, forced air, brings it across and sucks it up. They've done quite a few studies on what machines work the best. They did a big study out in California where EPA was really big, and they ran there's a Hypervac, which is pure vac machine, regenerative and mechanical, and the regenerative air was the one that would cleaned everything the best out, got all the particulates out and it's safest for stormwater. So I know that's a big thing for your MS4 stormwater cleanup. So that's the difference between mechanical and regenerative air, where you see the mechanical's got the big brush on the back, and it's trying to throw things up onto a conveyor and go into the house.
Chris, I only got one question.
Yeah.
What's with a good preventative maintenance program and taking care of the equipment, what's a life expectancy of a piece of equipment like this?
Oh, in a town like this, if you're taking care of it, anywhere from 12 to 15 years typically, as long as you're taking care of the unit. I mean, I've got in a bigger unit, A9, I want to say, I think it's in units there. I think they're in about 10, maybe 11 years on their A9. We just sold them a new machine, and they're still keeping their other one. It needs some updates on it. They never replaced the hood. A few other things were need updating on their machine. That would, I would say if they probably would put anywhere from $12,000 to $20,000 in it, it would be up and running at almost full capacity again, back to where, not obviously it's not going to be a brand new unit, but it's going to be really close. And we've sold several to surrounding areas. Eureka has been using one now for quite some time. Vandalia, they have the same size A4 that you're all looking at. So we have several accounts that I can.
I assume since it's a MoDOT bid spec that it's a pretty tough machine. So.
Oh yeah, it's Schwartz Industry has been around, and they're based out of maybe United States. They're down in Alabama. That's where they're in Huntsville, Alabama. They've been around for maybe 50 years, and we have been selling them for over 20 years, working with Schwartz Industries. So yeah, with the preventative maintenance and with having to come back up and retrain anybody, we definitely do that. We spend as much time we need to get somebody up training, learn to one maintenance the machine to keep it up and running and take care of it. And then it's got the warranties that are stated all on your sheets, all at the bottom, all the warranty that comes along with it. And we have there's a couple different options. We either, depending on what the problem, nature of the problem is, come to our shop, or we have a service tech as well.
Thank you, Chris. Does council have any other questions?
No, it's a electrical system, computer, 2 motors.
Yep.
I've seen it.
Sure.
Okay. The DIS system, it's a plug and play. So if there is a problem, we can actually plug the regular DIS system to the computer and tell you what's going on and be able to.
That I'm not. I'm the mechanical side. I'm not as
Well, the reason I asked that,
I can, I definitely get, Russ or,
the reason I asked that, because that should be in the computer.
Uh-huh.
Maintenance wise, should pull a light when the water system or the fuel system or even the oil system. It should have a light that comes on and tells maintenance wise. It's just an extra.
oh, you're saying like for maintenance required? Yes, correct. Yeah, that would, a lot of that would be on the computer screen that's gonna let you know things. Obviously, this is the middle console, but for the back end of the unit. Chassis side, I'm not 100% sure because,
I was more worried about the maintenance of the motor
yes,
of both motors.
yes. And then I would also have Nick, our owner, and Russ, well, Russ or Andy that on our tech side. Definitely be able to work with somebody on your side that's more on the maintenance, on the mechanics.
You're what, 2 hours away,
We're an hour and 40 minutes, yeah.
but it'd be where you could, just minor stuff.
Sure.
Okay.
And we keep parts on hand. I deliver, you guys don't have to run down and grab everything. That's one of the other thing, part of the service is, as you guys are needing parts and call and say, hey, we need this or that. I provide, it's nothing that you all have to take 2 hours out of your day from the street department, come down.
Are there any other questions from the council? Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you all for having me. Here's some. Another sheets on the A4.
Okay.
I will say that, with it being state bid price, it is the lowest price. And so it was really, our choice of who to go with. And, when the other one stopped working, I had asked Clinton, who should we go with? And it was no question that Louisiana Municipal Supply due to the customer service and just, how great they've been. And so, yeah, thank you guys for, having him. And then, are there any other questions regarding either resolution 05 or 09?
Figure financing, like interest that could cost us in 5 years versus what we would lose taking all of this money out of different accounts,
What we would lose in what sense?
like interest out of accounts, dividends,
I see.
bank fees for taking it out, like things like that. Over the 5 years.
So I don't have a number on what the withdrawal penalty would be. I believe
So,
that we would, since we would be clearing, and he could speak to this more. I believe that since we are clearing one full CD for it, that there wouldn't be a withdrawal penalty. Now, I could be wrong there.
yeah, so March 23rd, if we cashed out the 100,000, there won't be a penalty on it. And if we did the 23rd of each month, we'd only lose, the typical CDs is like the last quarter, according to our treasury, it's 30 days. So, that CD was earning us 3.7% interest at the time, and our current account with over $100,000 in our sales tax accounts. This council approved the new agreements that we forward with both banks. And I just be going by memory. It's approximately, remember we doing 0.02%. Well, now we're looking at full 2%. So, and the interest that we'd be paying on $247,650 is approximately, 4.5%. So yeah, definitely, if we're able to pay it all or, purchase it outright, we're saving. Any other questions for Cameron?
So we don't have to total the interest.
Yes, total interest after 5 years, would vary based on which one. The one I chose.
Well, and it goes down.
Well, yes.
Is it on there?
It was estimated at, and I'll run the numbers. It'd be pretty quick, 30,
Thanks.
approximately $30,000 to $35,000 in interest. Going with People's Bank and Trust, which is how Resolution 05 is written.
Thank you.
All right, couple other things, mostly numbers. The library update, the library was open 19 days in February with 369 in-person patrons, 70 phone calls, 2 new library cards, 43 computer-only patrons, and 11 community events. The license office update, license office was open 18 days since the last regular council meeting and has generated $6,042 in fees across 448 transactions. Finally, the treasurer's report, in all of your packets, you'll find a complete list of city warrants, and a much more in-depth dive into what I will read now. For the total revenue collections for the city in the month of February 2026 is $175,254.14. The city year-to-date collections is $1,938,563.18. The total expenses for the city in the month of February 2026 is $176,690.66. With the total expenses for the city year-to-date is $1,798,224.50. Our account balance for total non-restricted funds for the city is $648,726.82. And the account balance for total restricted funds is $463,880.27. Are there any regarding any of those 3 department updates?
Entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's report and warrants. We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
And then there's actually nothing left on my city update. I have one more thing to touch on, which I potentially didn't put on there. This evening, as I understand it, would be the last regular council meeting with the council as is. And I wanted to take a moment to just say thank you guys for giving me this opportunity to come to Louisiana to serve as the city administrator. I know there has been a lot of turnover in my position in the last couple of years, and we could fill books and spend hours here talking about that. But I intentionally left this off of my update because I just wanted to say thank you guys for giving me this opportunity. Thank you to the citizens for putting their faith in me and allowing me to do this. And thank you guys. That's it. Thank you.
Enterprise Director.
Evening, Mayor, Council. Just kind of some quick updates throughout Enterprise, the water treatment plan. I want to touch base on the basic rehabilitation. So that work is completed. We're just waiting for MECO Engineering to do the approval, so we can issue payment and be done with that. Completely done with that. Raw water intake telemetry. I'm going to skip around because some of the stuff is I talk about every meeting. Number 3 and 4, the raw water intake telemetry and the clear well level 16 upgrade. Both of those were ordered, and they're estimating late April before completion. So they're waiting on the equipment to get in so we can get those installed and be done. At our wastewater treatment plant, our UV system upgrade. The UV system is installed and then working. We usually fire that system up on April 1st, but with the technicians here and the crew that installed it, we went ahead and installed it and just left it running. So it's active and doing exactly as designed as of right now. Over on distribution, just kind of touch base on the street repairs in the rivers. They're still planning to patch the Jordan Street once they're here. Once they get here and get started, they're going to get with us and we'll have that prepped. And we got to pour some concrete.
I'm going to commend whoever continues to put gravel in that. It's actually hasn't been too bad going on.
And they do between the street department and the water department. I think it's done about 3 times a week.
Yeah.
So.
Tell.
And then the sewer main replacement on South 5th Street is complete, or we've started that, and they've got approximately 50% of it completed. So as they go through laying sewer main or tying in the services, there's one service that we're not able to tie in until we get it completed because we're going to have to actually cut the existing sewer main apart in order to make that final tie-in. And so once they get all the way down to the next manhole and hook up down there, we'll transition that last one over, and they've already started the backfilling process and compaction and stuff. for Mid River so that they could pave that when they come also. The last page that it's kind of to do a little bit more with the rates. I'll talk about it later, but it's just the increases that we've seen over the last year. And that's all I have for enterprise.
Any questions for the Range Director?
You know, so we're out doing hydrants today, in my neighborhood, so, yeah. I love the rattle of the pipes.
What, on the street? How long do you think you'll be there? It's because of the seniors that are having problems getting out.
I'm hoping we'll be out of there within another week.
Okay.
All right, Fire Chief report.
So just some department updates. We recently had a class with Amber, Missouri. They taught kind of went over the hazards regarding natural gas, locates, 811, things like that. It was beneficial for the department as it was the first class that they recall ever having for us. They conducted a live burn. So they actually brought in some natural gas and did put it into a glass combustion chamber and actually ignited it and showed exactly what it does. A lot of the members learned a lot of things and stuff from them. It was a beneficial class for us. We're hosting a countywide railroad related training at our firehouse for all the Pike County departments on April 15th. I think they may open that up for the police department and EMS and things like that. If anybody's not aware, Louisiana has the most railroads surrounding, so that's why we decided to have it here. The fire department's having a fish fry on April 18th. We'll be doing it at the White Insurance Agency by the bridge. So I hope to see everybody come out and support the fire department. Incident response data medical calls, we had 17 medical calls. And then for fire calls, gas odors, motor vehicle accidents, electrical hazards, we had 12 and 0 special events.
Any questions for the Fire Chief? Please speak.
Just want to touch on a couple of things. Everybody should have a copy of the report. I just want to let you know that we've got the bulk of the plot cameras installed and working, and they've already been generating arrests for individuals that were wanted. Things like this will also be alerted if missing persons come through, and also all entrances and exits of town are covered. So if we have a theft in town, like say a storage unit gets broken into 2 o'clock in the morning, we can go through and search that system and get potential suspects that way. There are a couple more to be installed, and they're supposed to be installed this week. Our application to continue being Missouri Blue Shield City for 2026 has been put in. We should hear something back here in the next week or two regarding that. As far as the month of February, we had 201 calls for service, 35 traffic stops, and 26 citations. And one other thing I'll touch on real quick is we're still in the process of getting that narcotic working dog. Just developing fundraising opportunities to put the money so we don't have to ask the citizens for it.
Any questions for the chief? Chief didn't bring it up, but he shared with me tonight. I want to share it with the council and the citizens. He has obtained his bachelor's of science degree for Purdue.
Okay.
Right. Congratulations. Something to be very proud of.
Yeah.
Questions?
Any committee reports? Business. There, Bill 72-3 Fire Department. This was discussed at the work study session. This has been reviewed by our city attorney, Mary. It only changes, it repeals Article 1 of Chapter 205 and replaces it with the language that Clinton has presented with us at the work study session. entertain a motion to give it a first reading by title.
So moved first reading by title.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, bill number 7253, an ordinance repealing and replacing chapter 205, article 1, fire department of the code of ordinances of the city of Louisiana, Missouri, and adopting a new chapter 205, article 1, fire department, consisting of sections 205.010 through 205.085. City clerk, you take the roll?
Councilman Star,
Yes.
Councilman Gott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Brown,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cordis,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilman Twitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Poston,
Yes.
Council, at your pleasure, entertain a motion to give a second reading of bill 7253.
So moved.
Second. We have a first and second. Are there any discussions? Hearing none, I'll go ahead and read by title, an ordinance repealing and replacing chapter 205, article 1, fire department of the code of ordinance of the city of Louisiana, Missouri, and adopting a new chapter 205, article 1, fire department, consisting of sections 205.010 through 205.085. Call roll, please.
Councilman Star,
Yes.
Councilman Gott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Brown,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cordis,
Yeah.
Councilman Phillips,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilman Twitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Poston,
Yes.
Council, resolution 08-2026. I apologize, Cameron, you brought this up on here. I do not see it on here, but we'll go ahead and since it's a resolution, we go ahead and pursue it. Let me pull it up here.
We need a motion, just add that to the agenda.
Yeah, we can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and vote. So moved.
Second. There's a first and second, any discussion? All in favor, say yes.
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 Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. All right. Let me pull it up here. Okay. Entertain a motion to approve our resolution 08-2026. So move.
Which one is that again?
08-2026.
And it's about, if I don't have a
Yeah.
copy of it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought we were doing.
I'm sorry.
That's what my motion
I'm sorry.
to.
Sorry.
To add the
Let's clarify this. The street sweeper's on there and Millsoft is on there. It is the hazard mitigation resolution.
Yes.
And I apologize. Can we have if there's no objections, let's have the minutes reflect the correct resolution.
We're looking at
07-2026. Do you have it? Okay, everyone got it?
Yeah.
Don't have it? No.
Okay, so I so moved and we. Consider resolution 07-2026.
So we got a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. All right, and resolution adopting the Pike County multi-jurisdictional local hazard mitigation plan, whereas the city of Louisiana recognizes the threat that natural hazards pose to people and property within our community. And whereas undertaking hazard mitigation actions will reduce potential for harm to people and property from future hazard occurrences. And whereas the U.S. Congress passed the Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000, Disaster Mitigation Act emphasizing the need for pre-disaster mitigation of potential hazards. Whereas the Disaster Mitigation Act made available hazard mitigation grants to state and local governments. And whereas an adopted local hazard mitigation plan is required as a condition of future funding for mitigation projects under multiple FEMA pre and post disaster mitigation grant programs. And whereas the city of Louisiana fully participated in the hazard mitigation planning process to prepare this multi-jurisdictional local hazard mitigation plan. And whereas the city of Louisiana desires to comply with the requirements of the Disaster Mitigation Act and to augment its emergency planning efforts by formally adopting the Pike County Multi-Jurisdictional Local Hazard Mitigation Plan. And whereas adoption by the governing body for the city of Louisiana demonstrates the jurisdiction's commitment to fulfilling the mitigation goals outlined in this multi-jurisdictional local hazard mitigation plan. Now therefore be it resolved by the city council of the city of Louisiana, Pike County, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the city of Louisiana adopts the Pike County Multi-Jurisdictional Local Hazard Mitigation Plan as an official plan. And Section 2, the city of Louisiana will submit the updated plan along with this adoption resolution to the Missouri State Emergency Management Agency and Federal Emergency Management Agency Region 7 officials to enable the plan's final approval. Passed and adopted and approved this day of 2026. Okay. Next item on the agenda is consideration of authorization to allow the purchase of a street sweeper. We have two resolutions. One's to purchase it outright for $245,000, or there's one to lease purchase agreement.
I'd like to make a motion that we consider 09026 directing the outright purchase of the street sweeper.
There's a motion.
Lease agreement.
Is there a second? Second, any discussion?
I just think it makes sense, given the fact that, number one, it's a lot of interest to pay on a 5-year loan. And we're gonna more than make up with that, I think with direct purchase, and we own it outright, and we're not incurring the debt. And it's always been my philosophy, my credit cards, you pay the suckers off in full, so you're not paying interest on them. And I think with the city, we need to do the same.
Great.
All right, any other discussion? All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign.
No,
Take a roll call, please.
Councilman Star,
Yes.
Councilman Gott,
Yes.
Councilman Brown,
yes.
Councilman Cordis,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips.
Yes.
Councilman Sherman,
No,
Councilman Twitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Holston,
Yes.
Okay, a resolution authorizing the purchase of a Schwartz street sweeper. Don't say that 3 times. Whereas the city council and mayor have agreed that the city administrator can execute a purchase agreement with Woody's Municipal Supply located at 3979 Blackburn Road, Edwardsville, Illinois, 16025. And whereas the price of a 2025 Schwartz street sweeper is set by the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission at $245,000. And whereas the city council and mayor find the purchase of the Schwartz street sweeper in the best interest of the city and its residents. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the city council of the city of Louisiana, Pike County, Missouri as follows. The city council hereby approves the purchase of one 2025 Schwartz street sweeper from Woody's Municipal Supply in the amount of $245,000. Section 2, the city council hereby authorizes the city administrator to execute a purchase agreement with Woody's Municipal Supply. Section 3, the mayor and city clerk are hereby authorized to execute any documents necessary to complete the purchase and financing of the street sweeper consistent with this resolution. Let's strike out in financing of that if there's no objection from the council.
Oh, no.
Of the street sweeper consistent with this resolution. Section 4, this resolution shall take effect immediately upon its approval by the city council and execution by the mayor. Passed, adopted, and approved this day, 2026.
You've now found a new tongue twister.
Yeah, that's right.
Good, proud over, we'll bring new sweets.
And it's consideration of authorization for the new contract with Millsoft Utility Solutions resolution number 08-2026. We have a first, is there a second?
Second.
Second, any discussion?
A lot of money. For bare bones
If we can
deal.
get a discount by paying by the year or. I would really like to, but the 5 year full term, I think you get a discount one year.
Yeah, should we postpone this so we could get?
This renews this, ours expired on May 31st, right?
March
Or excuse me, March 30th. So,
Need to move ahead.
so what we can do is, we can include this in this resolution.
Okay.
So this resolution, we can go on the fly with it, right? So Mary, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this. This resolution as written is for us to enter a 5-year agreement, renew 5-year agreement with Millsaw. We would like to add one conditional line, whereas authorizing the city administrator to seek any reductions in cost for an annual payment or one-time purchase for 5 years.
Well,
So wants to seek that opportunity if those opportunities don't exist. Sorry, the train's going through.
I think that what you're asking me is whether or not, first of all, we have a contract with them now, and that I don't know what that contract says, so I can't really guide you with that. But if the contract says automatic renewal, or if it says this, that, or the other, I would have to look at that first to see if we're going to be able to be allowed to cancel a new contract because we find a better deal. I mean, we're a little late in the game, I think. So
Question isn't looking for a new service provider. Question is, with the existing provider, seek opportunities to instead of making monthly payments, seek an opportunity to make an annual. If that would reduce our costs.
Well, I think that we could do that as long as we meet our contractual obligations to them. I don't know what their contract says.
Okay.
Because we have a prior contract with them, so it must have some sort of terms that says, well, after X number of years, we're going to do it at this particular rate. Will it allow us to look at something different? I'm not sure. Or are we stuck? I don't know. I haven't seen the contract.
Yeah, I don't think the intent is to change the provider, but
look for a better deal with them. I get it.
yeah. So I believe by approving this resolution 08-2026 authorizes the city administrator to enter into a renewal agreement.
For less
And then
At the best deal possible.
well, I mean, what's in black and white will allow him to do that. And conditionally, we can ask and put it in here that you seek and document denial or approval of an annual cost savings versus one time for 5 years.
Okay.
So if they say no, they don't do that.
Just a couple things real fast. So I'm looking at the contract. It says pricing is based upon mutual commitment to the initial term. In the event of early cancellation, the balance payments for the entire commitment will be due without proration unless otherwise agreed before signed. The other thing that I want to touch base on is Enterprise pays half of this. We're, as you guys know, we run a budget that's zero balance. Coming with a lump sum like this right out of the gate, it's gonna hit us. So it'll hit Enterprise. We budget for monthly payments, not a lump sum of half of that cost up front. So I just want everybody to keep that in mind as we move forward with this.
That makes sense.
So City Clerk, do we have a motion and a second on this resolution 08-2026?
Yeah.
We're in discussion. Let's go ahead and call the roll.
Councilman Sutton,
Yes.
Councilman Gott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Brown. Yes. Councilman Cordes,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips,
No, just because of the language.
Councilman Sherman,
No.
Councilman Twitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Poston,
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the renewal of the contract with Millsoft Utility Solutions, whereas the city council and mayor have agreed that the mayor can enter into a contractual agreement. City of Louisiana's behalf with Millsoft Utility Solutions located at 4400 Buffalo Gap Road, 5150 Texas. Halloween, anyway, whereas Millsoft Utility Solutions agrees to provide software services to the city of Louisiana for the operation of its municipal finance systems. Whereas the city of Louisiana agrees to pay Millsoft Solutions a sum of $775 per month for a period of 5 years. Whereas the term and conditions of the contract shall commence upon execution of the agreement between the parties and shall remain in effect for a period of 5 years. Now therefore be it resolved by the city council of the city of Louisiana, Pike County, Missouri as follows. Section 1, this resolution shall become effective upon its approval by the city council and execution by the mayor, passed and adopted and approved this day of 2026. I vote on the resolution. You got that?
Yeah.
Okay. That is it for old business, going new business. Bill number 7251. Entertain a motion to give Bill 7251. And we have a first, is there a second?
We're just, right?
Second. All right, open the floor for discussion. We'll go ahead and
Good evening, Mayor, Council. February 9th, 2026, Council was provided with an informational packet outlining a proposed 2.7% increase in water and wastewater rates. This adjustment is being requested to keep pace with the rising cost of living as reflected by the Consumer Price Index. In February of 2025, the city implemented a rate increase to support a 20-year infrastructure plan. This increase was specifically intended for capital improvements, not for operational cost increases. Since that time, we've experienced significant increases in operational expenses. For example, in June of 2025, our electric provider, AMUE, raised their utility rates between 8 and 11%, with actual costs trending closer to the higher end of that range. Again, in September of 2025, we received an increase for gas from Ameren also. Over the past 12 months, it has resulted in an approximate increase of $9,000 annually in utility expenses alone. I gave those exact numbers on that last page. The exact number increase from electric was $9,181.68. Moburn, we've seen an increase of $11,856.98, and with United Healthcare, an increase of $17,273.22. The combination of those is roughly $38,000, just in increases of the three major expenditures that we have on a yearly basis. As part of the 2025 rate adjustment, we committed to completing key infrastructure improvements in year one. I am pleased to report that we have fulfilled all of those commitments. Those were major projects that significantly improved our water system. One example is the installation of a mixer at the Star Hill Ground Reservoir Tank, which has helped address longstanding THM concerns. Importantly, this project was completed without taking on any additional debt, allowing us to avoid interest costs, something that has not always been possible in the past. I also want to address a common concern that we hear from residents regarding their water bills. Specifically, the bills seem high even when the water usage is low. It is important to understand that a significant portion of this bill is not tied directly to water consumption. Many charges related to debt are related to debt service from prior infrastructure projects such as the Georgia Street Corridor project, which included water, wastewater, stormwater, sidewalks, curbs, and street paving. Additionally, charges on the bill. Additionally, charges on the bill included costs associated with regulatory requirements such as the LT2, which funds the repayment for the water treatment plant in the UV system. Another component is trash service, where approximately 90% of the fee is paid directly back to the contractor. At this time, nearly $35 of your typical water bill is allocated for debt service and contractor payments. These funds are not discretionary, but they are committed to paying for essential projects and services that have already been completed or are contractually required. There is also the perception that the city is building large reserves unnecessarily. That is not the case. Funds collected for debt services are held specifically for repayment of existing obligations, including projects such as the wastewater treatment plant, the I&I study, and the Georgia Street improvements. Our budget is structured to balance each year, and we are not generating profit, but rather maintaining and operating a critical public utility. Looking ahead, we are also facing additional mandated projects, such as the lead service inventory that we just completed. The EPA is already issuing letters, and we'll start working on getting that stuff replaced. Finally, I want to acknowledge the concerns we hear from residents about water quality. Whether it is taste, odor, or appearance, these are all valid concerns, and this proposed rate increase will help ensure that we continue to address them effectively. While many of these concerns are not always reported directly to us, we remain committed to improving service and responding appropriately when issues arise. In summary, this proposed increase is not about generating revenue beyond our needs. It is about maintaining a reliable, compliant, and sustainable water and wastewater system for our community.
Any other discussion, council?
When was the last time we raised?
Water rates last year, 2025.
You can only raise them one time a year, right?
We are allowed to do that. We're allowed per ordinance to evaluate every February, go into effect in June.
What was it before last year?
The last time we did a water increase. So we did out of town customers, I think it was in 2023. I know that when Kelly Henderson was here, he tried in 2022 for like a 1.8753%. And there was I know that some of the councilors at the time had some issue or some questions, and through the process it was tabled and never brought back up.
Thank you.
Any other discussions, council?
Yeah, I just like to, I'll make it brief. This pains me to have to do this, respect to raising the rates. I know I was very vocal about the last rate increase, but times have changed. We have crazier economy now than we did before. The impact of tariffs on chemical costs and those kinds of things. The fact that the insurance and stuff has gone up. And we don't want our city workers to not have health insurance. All those other associated things, we gotta pay for electricity. The electric company is gouging the hell out of people just because they can. And in general, I'm normally against trying to do this, especially after we just raised the trash rates and everything else. But I think now we have to bite the bullet and do it. And it pains me to have to take that vote because we had talked so much about the rates being stable after last year. But again, this is a different environment now than it was a year ago. The economy and everything else. I just want to go on record with that.
Any other discussion, council?
But to add on to what you're saying, we as a whole in the water department are not the only ones that's caught that increase in everything. Everybody in town has.
I agree.
And I have had so many people come to me, and some of them are not going to be able to pay their water bills, and then they're going to get condemned, and then we got another cycle going on. So that's where I'm at with that. I listened to too many people talk about it, and they just.
Yeah.
One person has $120 bill, another person has $140.
A couple of more groceries and gas now being what it is. I mean, it's a tough vote.
And we have two businesses here in town that run on water, and I know we have a commercial rate, but they don't need it because they don't spend enough. And it's about to put one of them out of business. That's all I have to say.
Any other discussions? Call the roll, please.
Councilman Star,
Yes.
Councilman Gott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Brown,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cordes,
As bad as I hate it, yes.
Councilman Phillips,
No.
Councilwoman Sherman,
No.
Councilman Twitchell,
No.
Councilman Colston,
No.
There being a tie vote, I'll cast the tiebreaker as a yes. Give it a first reading by title. An ordinance amending sections D and E of chapter 715, article 1, section 715.040 of the City of Louisiana Code of Ordinances relating to the user charge system for the water. Entertaining motion to give 7251 second reading.
So moved.
Second, first and second, any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Sutter,
Yes.
Councilman Gott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Brown,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cordes.
Yeah.
Councilman Phillips,
No.
Councilwoman Sherman,
No.
Councilman Twitchell,
No.
Councilman Colston,
No.
There being a split vote, I'll cast the deciding tiebreaker vote. Vote yes. Bill 7251, an ordinance amending sections D and E of chapter 715, article 1, section 715.040 of the City of Louisiana Code of Ordinances relating to the user charge system for the water. Read 2 times in the past this day, 2026.
It shows how much you think you're all citizens, and you ain't got to do it on myself now.
Consideration, go ahead, for Bill 7252. Entertain motion to get the first reading.
So moved. Sorry.
Second, first and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Councilman Sutter,
Yes.
Councilman Gott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Brown,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cordes,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilman Twitchell,
No.
Councilman Colston,
No.
Reading is approved and passed. An ordinance amending section 6 of chapter 705, article 5, section 705.390, and section C and G of chapter 715, section 715.100 of the City of Louisiana Code Ordinances relating to the wastewater rates. Entertaining motion to give Bill 7252 a second reading.
So moved.
First, second, any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Councilman Sutter,
Yes.
Councilman Gott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Brown,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cordes,
Yes.
Councilman Phillips,
No.
Councilwoman Sherman,
No.
Councilman Twitchell,
No.
Councilman Colston,
No.
All right, an ordinance amending section 6 of chapter 705, article 5, section 705.390, section C and G of chapter 715, section 715.100 of the City of Louisiana Code of Ordinances relating to the wastewater rates. Read 2 times and passed this day, 2027. The floor for any miscellaneous business, including comments from the public on any items discussed during the meeting.
Yeah, so when, how much of an impact did the $131,000 plus interest on the bill that wasn't paid to, Mercer, affect, this rate increase? That should have been paid by ARPA funds, but it's not.
How, heck, us.
Yeah, but we've had the increase had the mistake not being made, that cost about $140,000.
I'll say it ultimately would have been a council decision. I still would have pushed for it because the issue with that is the issue with that that payment back to McMailers is that it actually just took away from one of our projects in our 20-year plan. This was solely based off cost of living, so the 2.7% is based off of the information for our expenditure skyrocketing, the 9,181 for electric, almost 12,000 for MoPerm, and rated a little over 17,000 for United Healthcare.
So the $131,000 plus $19,000 in interest on that did not have any negative impact on the enterprise whatsoever, and we still have sought an increase, even though you just stated that there was a $38,000 increase in what, that was your utilities?
So what I'm saying is that for the $130,000 you're talking about from Nick Mailers, that just took away from our potential shop replacement project as I've been presenting to the council during work study and regular meetings. So with that
Shop replacement where?
for this distribution, because that's on the, well, just like right here, I've had it on,
It's calculated into your 20-year plan.
that was calculated.
Then you had an increase to offset that in your 20-year plan.
Yeah.
That was planned in your 20-year plan.
Yes.
It's not making any sense there, Duncan.
Anyone else from the public have any comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to go into closed session for RSMO 610.021.
So moved.
1, 2, 3. We have a first and second, any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Councilman Summer,
Yes.
Councilman Gott,
Yeah.
Councilwoman Brown,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cordis, Councilman Phillips,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilman Twitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Colson.
Yes.
Going back there. No. I tell you what, the council, if you don't have any objections, we can just go back to the back conference. I'll give you a call, my phone. I just take your phone.
Right, but you don't have to leave. We're leaving.
Cost of living is on us, not on, not on. What's.
Need the tip. What?
No.
We are back into open session. No business to discuss from the closed meeting. Entertain a motion to.
So adjourn.
Second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign.